Hey guys, it's Irene's Braids, and I am back with another video. So today I'll be doing my little client's hair. Her name is Baby C, and we are going to be doing her some back to school braids. We wanted to go for something cute for the first day of school versus doing a silk press. So her mom was wondering if I could, spruce it up. So I decided to go in with medium knotless and then perm out the ends of her braids. So before I start, I want to tell you guys that I did try to go in with this here braid gel, but I didn't quite like how the braid gel was reacting with her hair. Not all braid gels work the same on each client's hair. So I did start off with it, and then by the time I got ready to start parting the back of her head, I didn't quite like the residue that it was leaving. So I decided to switch it out with a different type of braid gel, which I will be showing you in the clips here. So before we get started, I did use 3 packs of kitty braid Little Looks braiding hair. I like this look, the Little Looks braiding hair, because it is dedicated for little girls, and I think that that pack of hair is a perfect length. The hair already comes stretched, so it's nothing that you need to do for prepping the hair besides lying it down on the rack. And as you can see in front of my client, I have a rack that I purchased from Walmart, and I separate the hair on that rack. So this is the hair gel that I was telling you about. I love this gel a little bit better. It kind of leaves more of conditioning, but also a edge control, but not necessarily too edge control feel, because it has more of an oil base to it, which I like. And one of the things that I noticed about my client is that she has what we call in the braiding world moving scalp. And because she has moving scalp, I have to part her hair a couple of times just to make sure that the parts are looking the way it's supposed to look. So this is the braiding hair that we use. I did not use that color 1B. We use a color 2. However, this was my first time doing her hair, and we will be going in with a color 4 next time. I will no longer use a color 2 on her. I think the color 2 is a little too dark, but I didn't quite know what her hair color was, because her mom is my client, and her mom really wanted me to get her ready for back to school. And so I went ahead and blessed her. But what I did tell her mom was that moving forward, I will be braiding her hair for her, because I wanted to do more kitty content for my moms who are struggling with braiding. So these type of videos are for you moms, okay? So let's get started here. So I went ahead and separated her hair into 3 sections. And then once I separated into 3 sections, I began to intertwine the piece of braid in. So I'm going to go back and show you guys exactly what I did. So here I am separating her natural hair. I take my fingernail and I just kind of break it down to 3 sections. Then I place a piece of hair between my index and thumb finger. As I pull down on that top right piece, bring it down to start intertwining the braid. And I braid that in about 4 to 5 times. Then I start to feel for where the hair is thinner at and apply another piece of braiding hair. And I braid that in again between 2 to 3 times by adding another piece in between the 2 and 3 times. So I'll stop and add another piece. I'll continue to do this until I feel as though the braid is to the size that I'm looking for. I am going for more of a small medium braid, so it makes more sense for me to braid them in like so. So I don't want her braids to look too heavy, and I don't want them to be too full. I just want them, I want a fullness that's just right. Because one thing I'm noticing about little girls in braids, it's not looking realistic when you're applying too much braiding hair, moms. So you don't want to go in with a lot of hair. Try to keep the braid size as natural as possible. And this length of braiding hair is perfect because we will be perm routing the ends. So again, you're going to separate her hair into 3 sections like this. You see that? Clamp down with your index and thumb finger, but then switch out your index finger with your middle finger and thumb. You see that? And then I'm going to push my index finger up under that middle piece of hair to clamp on to my far left piece of natural hair. Once I'm still holding that first piece, but then also I went ahead and I grabbed onto that left piece at the end over here. And then once you have that, you want to go ahead and take that piece of first braiding hair, clamp it between your index and thumb finger while still holding on to all two pieces. And then this top piece is going to come down, index finger is going to come through the middle, and then this top piece up here to the right is going to come down. And then you're going to push this middle back piece up while switching your index finger through again. Push those index fingers through because that's how you can get that braid moving. And then now you see how this hair is thin right here. I'm going to add a piece of braiding hair because it needs to have the fullness and the same consistency. So make sure you're paying attention to where the hair is thinner at, because 9 times out of 10, when you make that stop, you need to go ahead and add another piece of hair so that way this braid can look consistent. And then once you get all 3 pieces in, you're going to braid down between 3 to 4 times. And if you feel like you need another piece of braiding hair, go ahead and add it. The reason why I don't like to say how many pieces to add is because everyone's hair density is different. So you want to apply the piece of braiding hair in 3 times, but then you may not need as much if your baby's hair is thicker, because her natural hair will be enough to continue on with the braiding hair that you've already applied. That way the braids aren't too thick. You want to go for the braids to be as natural as possible. That's the name of the game. Natural braids. So again, moms, let's separate her natural hair into 3 sections. I try to make this as detailed as possible. Make sure that you're using your index and thumb finger, but you're switching out with that middle finger. Push your index finger up under that middle piece of hair. So slide that index finger up under. Okay. Grab hold of that far left piece. Don't let go of any piece that you have grabbed so far. Still hold on to all pieces. And then you're going to take your piece of braiding hair, clamp it between your index and thumb finger, rest it. That top piece that's laying over the top of my index finger, I'm going to take that piece and drop it down. Drop it down while taking my left index finger up under the middle section and grab hold of the far right piece. The middle piece that's resting on top of my index finger, bring that down. You see what I'm saying? All you're doing is switching out the routine here. Each side is the same way, but you're just switching out hands, and you're doing the same method on each hand differently. And remember, you're going to braid this in between 3 to 4 times, maybe 5 if you feel like it's necessary. And then once you get it in 5 times, you're going to just go ahead and start adding in that first piece of braiding hair between your index and thumb finger. Once you have that piece of braiding hair braided in, you're going to braid that down between 2 to 3 times and then add in another piece. All right, you guys. So we did 3 sections straight across in the back of her head, and then I U-shaped the rest of the parting, as you can see here. So far we did about 4 rows of U-shaped parting. This would be about the 5th row here, and I just kind of want to show you guys what that would look like. So again, when I told you guys at the beginning of this video, look, baby C has moving scalp, so it's really, really hard to part her hair and make the parts as straight as possible, because even when you think that you made them straight, once you clamp that hair, it could be something totally different. So a lot of this video went to parting, I will say that. Now, don't forget that I like to make sure that each braid is falling in between the braid under it. So moms, when you're braiding your daughter's hair, make sure you start parting towards the middle first and then work your way to the outer ends of the sections of hair. That way you can make sure your braids are lying directly in between the ones under it, because that's how you create fullness without adding too much braiding hair and without adding too many braids. You don't need a lot of braids and you don't need a lot of braiding hair. You really don't. So that's one of the things that I do like about doing knotless braids, because you don't have to do too much. So make sure you're tucking those ends nice and neatly. And once those ends are tucked nice and neatly, you'll have a perfect set of knotless braids. And she sat so well, you guys. She sat so well. So when you're doing this, I'm not braiding the ends completely down. I'm braiding them down enough, but not enough to finish them off, because I want to perm rod the ends. So it's not necessary to braid it completely to the tips. You don't have to. So as you guys can see here, I left the front pieces out. Baby C was like, Miss Irene, why did you leave the front pieces out? And I told her, I was like, well, it's just a method to the madness, because this is the way I like to do my setup. So when I break it all down, it just all falls in with the rest. And she's so cute. She was like, when I get older, can you teach me how to braid? Because I want to come and work in your salon. And I told her, girl, I got you, girl. Like, I'm going to teach you how to braid, and I'm going to make you your own boss. Baby C is going to be the next little Irene around here. So I told her I'm going to make her own boss, and she going to learn how to braid. She probably do her first year at the salon with me. And we're going to put baby girl her own salon so she can do her own thing and, start her clientele and just be booming. Because that's just really how it starts, you guys. You got to water the foundation, teach these kids. If she really wants to learn and she's really into hair, because her mom was saying she has a mannequin head at home. Baby doll heads at home that she just braids on. And she's always like constantly doing their hair. That's a gift, because that's how I started. I started braiding my doll's hair, and then went from my doll's hair to braiding friends' hair, and then from friends' hair to starting to braid at home, and then from braiding at home to finally going out there getting me a salon suite and braiding clients' hair in real life, in real time, and getting paid for it and getting paid good, and then that brought me to getting my own storefront. So I love that. So up here, you guys, I am breaking this down to 4 sections. As you can see here, I'm starting off with the corner sides, and I'm making sure that when I do my parting, I'm making sure all of my parts can lie in between the braids under it. So make sure that when you do your parting, you're breaking it down enough to where the braid that you start can lie in between the braid under it, because that's going to create that fullness you need without making too many braids. As you can see here, I did just that. So I'm going to go ahead and complete that, and this is how it looks. Here are some perm rods that we're going to use. And what I did in this video, I don't want you guys to do. You see this whole section of hair? Break that up into 2 sections. I did go back off camera and I broke it up, but yeah, I was like, I'm gonna just do it all in big sections like this. And I wrote them up pretty high, because I wanted them to be like a cute bob look, but not necessarily too short of a bob. I want her to have a little bit of length for ponytails. But don't do this. Each section that you see that I took, split it into 2. That way you get more curls. Even though it's not gonna look bad like this, it won't, and it would curl nicely. But I think that if you broke it up into 2 sections, the curls will hold a little bit better. And moms, if you're able to keep these in your daughter's hair overnight, do that, and then take it out before she goes to school the next morning. But if you like, or if you're like me, you're gonna have to blow dry it some and then take them out. But either way, it's gonna, curl because you have to use a nice pot of water, hot water. But you want to add some cool water to your hot water, especially for little kids because they're gonna move and you don't want them to get popped with the water. So I did moisturize her scalp really, really good. And I put a towel over her back and her shoulders. And then I had her put the towel over her ears and I made her sit very still because we don't play by that hot water. So as I have her hair in the pot of water, it is hot, you guys, but not steaming hot. I added cool water to this pot. So understand that there's cool water added in here to dim down the heat. And I did blow as I had her hair in the pot. I blew on it to make sure that, her hair wasn't steaming hot and it wasn't hurting her in any kind of way. So this is pretty much how I dipped it. And then after I dipped all of her curls, see, here I am asking her, is she okay? She's like, yeah, I'm okay. She's so sweet, you guys. I love doing her hair. She has so much energy and personality. She is just the sweetest. Her mom has been my client for 7 years now. So it was like, I was just like, okay, because I don't braid children's hair. I only braid 14 and up. But I really want to make content for moms. So this is why I made an exception. When her mom asked me originally, I was like, I don't know if I want to braid kids' hair because, it hurts my back. But Savannah sat like a little girl. I mean, a big girl. If I get more kids who sit like big girls like her, I probably wouldn't mind. But I gotta pray about it, y'all. I don't know yet. I gotta pray about it. But back in the days when I did kids' hair, oh, my back used to hurt, and we had to take so many breaks. And moms would be like, oh, can they just have their tablet, or can they do this and can they do that? And I don't mind a tablet, but if the tablet is too much of a distraction where you can't keep your head up, and you guys know with my schedule, you're 9 times out of 10, one child is not my only client. I have a second client after that. So I'm really big on my schedule. And if I can't get it done within the time, that's made for that set, that's a lot. That's a lot. But if I definitely had more kids like Savannah, I would definitely consider it. So I did blow dry her hair just to make sure the curls were set. When you're taking these out, you guys, you're gonna roll the curl out, up and under. You don't want to just take it, clamp it off, and drag it because when you drag it, you're dragging the curls. So make sure you lift up the curls and roll the hair out just like that. Keep the curls nice and tight. I did snip off the tail ends of each curl because some of those pieces are too straight. So you want to snip off those tail pieces to make sure the curl is full and juicy. But yeah, you guys, this is pretty much it. This style will last her up to 12 weeks if she wanted to. A good 12 weeks. And plus, you guys, you need to wash your braids. The biggest deal with braids nowadays is you guys don't wash them. Moms, wash your daughter's braids. Wash them. Make sure that you condition. You wash at least every 2 weeks. If you can't do every 2 weeks, do every 3. And if your braider allows a touch-up, get a touch-up in between and keep your scalp oiled. Every now and then, go ahead and make you up a spray bottle concoction of a not leave-in conditioner, I'm sorry, a moisturizer like pink lotion. Get you some fresh water and an oil and spray your scalp throughout the week to help keep it moisturized that way as well in between oiling. Because oiling is great, but it's not everything. You need to add some moisture back in there as well. So make up a little spray bottle, a little mist bottle concoction, and it should be something just like that. And then make sure you're washing out these oils and concoctions that you're putting in your hair. Wash them out between every 2 to 3 weeks. Keep your hair nice and fresh. Keep your scalp fresh. So I did apply a little bit of oil sheen to her hair. And then we just styled it really quickly. So here are some styles. Baby, she is back to school ready. So moms, let me know how you like this video. Make sure y'all comment below. Let me know what you thought about it, if you were able to pick up something and learn from this video. And if you want more mommy and daughter content, let me know because I'm really considering doing more mommy and daughter content for you guys. I think our next video will be scalp braiding, so definitely look forward to that. But here are some ideas of how we styled the hair. I love this little side part. I didn't want to do her edges. I know edges is a big deal for some people, but I didn't want to because she's not going anywhere. And I don't want to cake up her hair with product and she's not going nowhere but home. Her mom can do edges the first day of school. I'm not a big edge girl. I like to just brush them. And if you want to apply a little product, do it when you got to go somewhere. Because, yeah. Look at my girl. She looks so cute, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm going to see y'all in my next video.